I'm Jack Bergman, Michigan's 1st District Congressman. You're listening to Michigan's Big Show starring Micro Patrick Shiels.
Congressman Jack Bergman will join us in person on Monday for half an hour, and that'll be in northern Michigan when we're at the Lockenheath Golf Club, very near the Grand Traverse Resort. That'll be Monday, and Tuesday we will be at Grand Traverse Resort, Wednesday and Thursday at the Inn at Bay Harbor in Petoskey, where we're heard on WMKT 1270 AM and 1023 FM in northern Michigan. Most of the rest of the time, we are at the Capitol in Lansing here, and we've got some news coming up a little bit later about a potential road funding plan. Stay tuned for that. And for those of you who don't like President Trump, or you watch the media, listen to the media, read the media about all the horrible, terrible things that the media says he's doing, here's one that you can put in your pocket. President Trump is wiping out student loan debt for veterans who are completely and permanently disabled. Spoke to veterans in Kentucky, and he said he signed a direct order that the Department of Education limit all debt owed by those who qualify, and that we must never abandon our heroes in their hour of need. There are about 50,000 disabled veterans who are qualified for that. So there's one to the good in any case. Dave Dulio is the director of the Center for Civic Engagement at Oakland University, a professor in political science there, and also an author, his most recent book being Michigan Government Politics and Policy and Campaigns from the Ground Up. And he's on our AT&T line. Thanks for being available.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So if you were to examine or perhaps even run the Justin Amash re-elect campaign in West Michigan, Grand Rapids, where we're heard on WTKG, and know that he's running not as a Republican, not as a Democrat, but as a former Republican who now is an independent, does he have a chance to win like that?
Boy, it's going to be tough. Independents, as you know, always face an uphill battle when it comes to winning elections in we don't have a strict two-party system, but it's an effective two-party system. And so he's going to have a tough time. But somebody like Amash could pull it off with the right strategic decisions in the campaign, and frankly, I think a lot of it will depend on who the two major parties nominate next August.
Because I wonder if his name recognition can carry him through on a ballot like that.
Well, he certainly has great name recognition. He's got a base of supporters, neither of which other independents running maybe for the first time have. It'll be interesting to see. This is a bit of a unique case where you've got an incumbent member of Congress who was elected under a party banner, then disavowing that party banner to run as an independent the next time. And so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I still think it's an uphill battle, mainly because both the Democrats and the Republicans are going to put a target on this district, and I think sink a lot of resources into it, because at the end of election night, it's about who has 218 votes in the House, and this is going to be an important one toward that number for either party.
5 Republicans and 5 Democrats have filed to run in that 3rd congressional district. President Trump won by 10 percentage points there. And Justin Amash has distanced himself from the president, has been in a Twitter war with him, and thinks that he ought to be impeached. Would that also hurt his reelectability in Trump country?
Yes and no. Certainly that does not do him any favors with base Republicans. We can't forget that the Republican Party is still strongly with the president, and anybody, let alone a Republican who comes out, former Republican at this point, who comes out and says that the president should be impeached, probably isn't going to draw a lot of votes from those Republicans. Now, will he get some votes? Yes, from Republicans who voted for him in the past, because they've done that before. I also think it's going to be tough to get some Democrats because of some of his positions on issues. And he had a town hall or a coffee hour in the district in the last couple of days where he got a lot of heat for his views on the Second Amendment. And he is sternly against a number of gun control measures, which is pretty squarely in the Republican orthodoxy. But obviously Democrats don't like it. And I wonder how many sort of moderate, soft Democrats are going to come over and vote for him if he and there's no reason to think he wouldn't continue to support those kinds of positions.
He was at the Rising Grind Cafe in Grand Rapids, as you mentioned yesterday, telling everybody that the two-party system stinks, Congress is broken, and he said it's worse than the TV show House of Cards.
Well, that would be quite a stunner. I having been a staffer on Capitol Hill, this is a long time ago, but it is. I wouldn't say it's as bad as he says it is, but he has more recent and better knowledge certainly than I do of that. But we can't forget that the framers of the Constitution put in a series of checks and balances and shared powers between chambers of Congress, between branches of government that set us up to fail. They meant for this to be a really hard thing to do. They meant for it to be slow and deliberative and to not succumb to knee-jerk reactions to certain policy questions. Has it gotten too far or too much like that? You can certainly make that case. Justin Amash is not the only one who would. It is Capitol Hill is definitely a place where partisan bickering and partisan infighting happen all the time, and for sure more than it should. But it's at least to a certain extent part of the system that was created for us back at the founding.
For students who might come to Oakland University from other parts of the state, what's life like there?
OU is a wonderful place to go to school. We are in the heart of Oakland County, near Fortune 500 companies that we have relationships with. Our students go there for internships. There's easy access to the city of Detroit for experiences there. The city of Pontiac is right next door with great things for students. We've got all these degree programs. Anybody who's got an interest in higher ed, in pursuing their education, take a look at what OU's got.
We will. Dave Giulio, thank you very much. Political science professor at Oakland University near Royal Oak and Birmingham, too.
Remember field trips? Permission slips, bag lunches, and field trip buddies. The thrill of the bus ride as it rambled along unfamiliar roads. Every bump and song taking us further from our routines and closer to new discoveries. Wouldn't it be great to go on a field trip again? To take time off, put our hiking boots on, throw our bikes on the car and our cares out the window. We can, in a place called Michigan, home to the longest designated state trail in the country and over 5,000 miles of hiking and biking trails. Trails that lead us through mossy forests that time forgot and majestic cliffs we'll always remember. Where every hill we climb, stream we cross, and field we traverse rekindles our sense of wonder. So let's grab our best friend and give ourselves permission to take a field trip that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.